Friends, have you ever thought that the reason you can't change your life isn't because you're not working hard enough or because you're lacking kindness? It's because you lack a powerful vow. There's a saying, ability can't overcome karma. Karma can't overcome a vow. The power of a vow is our secret weapon. If we don't learn to use it well, it's like we've given up on a tool that can help us change our destiny. So learning to make great vows is key to overcoming all obstacles. Many people hope to make big money, but often the result is heavy debt. Why, if from the beginning you believe that the money you earn is just to meet your own needs, to make your family live a bit happier, then fundamentally you've decided that you won't earn much because your aspiration is only to meet the needs of your family members. In that case, the upper limit of the wealth you create is the sum of your family's blessings. You can only earn as much as your family's collective good fortune allows, because you're only satisfying them. But if you vow to improve the living standards of tens of thousands of people, then the wealth you manifest is the sum of blessings of those tens of thousands. So from the start, you've made your vision small, limited yourself. Naturally, you won't encounter great resources or projects and won't have more income. Is it easier to realize the wish of earning more money just for yourself? Or is it easier to achieve the wish of helping more people escape poverty and live better lives? So what is the power of a vow? It's the super strong manifestation ability of making your wishes come true. It's a heartfelt pledge to genuinely benefit others, forming a force of will and action. Making vows is one way to increase blessings and gain wisdom. You see, saints have all made great vows to benefit all beings. From a quantum physics perspective, making a vow is like emitting an energy wave. It can act upon the objects of your beneficence, forming action and reaction forces, creating quantum entanglement. In other words, anything you give will eventually return to you. This is called the power of a vow. For example, if you give joy, making others happy, you will receive joy from others. If you offer stability, bringing peace to others, you will gain peace and happiness. Conversely, if you project hatred, anger, and worry onto others, you'll be surrounded by these as well. What we encounter today must be something we've sent out before. It's just that the universe returns it to us in another form, at a different stage. Many of our thoughts aren't actively generated by us. They're often prompted by external forces. Each person's physical body is composed of information, matter, and energy. A person is like a small universe, constantly influenced by the larger universe. For example, we're affected by surrounding energies. Because the power of a vow is also an energy wave, it can entangle with the object of its benefit, causing changes. It might even inspire inexplicable thoughts in the beneficiary. So when you emit a kind thought to benefit others, the reaction force you receive is also kindness. And the focus of a vow must be beneficial to other sentient beings, not satisfying personal greed or demanding from the outside. Otherwise, it's hard to realize. Why can the power of a vow generate such great energy? As the saying goes, every thought and action is energy. A vow is the most primal force within us. It's the idea that leads to action. It's the most refined form of consciousness. The stronger the vow, the more firm and powerful the action. By keeping our original intention and preserving the light within, we hold on to this powerful force. Tang Seng's aspiration was to journey to the West to obtain scriptures, to save all beings. He was resolute. Therefore, his vow was immensely powerful. Heaven and earth, the human world and the divine realm all helped him realize this wish. The journey was long. For an ordinary person, obtaining the true scriptures was impossible. But his powerful vow gathered 4 disciples. Though he himself didn't possess great powers, each of his disciples could traverse heaven and earth, capable of anything. Though the journey had 81 difficulties, full of hardships, his wish was still fulfilled. Why? First, because his vow was strong. Second, because he had a heart to benefit others. Without a heart to benefit others, our pursuits easily become mere desires. Take wealth manifestation, for example. You want to get 100 million or even more money, no problem. But is your starting point to satisfy personal greed or to help and benefit more sentient beings? It's the same pursuit of wealth. But if you want wealth to help others, to benefit society, that's a righteous vow. If you only think about making money for yourself, living a wealthy life, not caring about others, lacking reverence, that's selfish desire. Therefore, the paths you need to take to manifest wealth are entirely different. The same applies to power and status. If you desire greater power or higher status, no problem. But ask yourself, am I doing this to dominate others or to have a higher platform, more opportunities to lead and help others live better lives? The world belongs to all under heaven, not to one person. Only the virtuous can hold it. What is virtue? It's when a person's ultimate ideal, goal, vision, conscience, and destiny align with the greatest interests of all sentient beings. It's like an inner sun that never sets, illuminating our entire world, leaving no room for darkness, selfish desires, or ulterior motives, guiding all our thoughts, words, and actions towards empathy, coexistence, and harmony with the vast world. Many of our problems aren't about poverty, but about lacking grand ideals and visions that align with the greatest interests of all sentient beings. One for all for one. Achieving oneself by helping others to achieve oneself. These aren't empty words or cliches. It's more blessed to give than to receive. Those who benefit others often attract more people to help them, attract more energy to fulfill their wishes. Selfish people are often trapped in jealousy, resentment, and other negative emotions. So wealth doesn't manifest, or they exchange other forms of wealth for money, which isn't worth it. When you're willing to benefit all beings, all wealth and energy will flow to you. Every vow you make will eventually return to you like a boomerang. So when you emit kindness, joy, and happiness, you receive kindness, joy, and happiness. If you emit hatred, worry, and pain, you receive hatred, worry, and pain. Love comes because of you. Hate also arrives because of you. You reap what you sow. If I want others to treat me well, I must first treat others well. When you feel life is hard, marriage unsatisfactory, or your children disobedient, please send out your kind vows. No matter whom you're good to, in the long run, it will be repaid to you. That's why I always emphasize doing more for others, sowing more seeds of goodness. Many of our inexplicable thoughts mostly stem from the good or bad seeds we've sown in the past. When good karma matures, good thoughts arise. When bad karma matures, bad thoughts emerge. For example, if you've harmed sentient beings in the past, the bad seed is planted. When the time is right, it manifests, making you think those are your own thoughts. This often happens with emotions like anxiety and depression. That's why many bad habits and thoughts are hard to reverse, because bad karma seeds are bearing fruit. If you plant seeds of helping and benefiting others, goodness matures. When doing things, you'll feel inspired, full of ideas and as if divinely assisted. Whatever path you set your heart on, whatever deeds you do, you'll reap the corresponding fruits, matching your current role. Our physical body is just the surface. Essentially, we're a system, a sensitive energy field, constantly exchanging energy with the outside world. What you think, what you believe, what you emit. All these combine to form the world that surrounds you. If you're optimistic and positive, the energy you emit is positive, so the world you receive is beautiful. If you blame heaven and earth, the energy you emit is negative, so the world you receive is gloomy. This is called a thought of heaven, a thought of hell. So observe your current feeling. Actually, all my videos aim to help everyone understand the principles. Understanding leads to belief. After that, you need to make vows and take action. Only through the 3 steps of belief, vow, and action can you change your current state. When changing thoughts, you need a powerful vow as support. So how do you make a great vow? First, you need to understand that the universe and all sentient beings are a community of shared destiny. Their interconnectedness is far beyond our imagination. Every single thought has varying degrees of impact on the universe and all things. From the perspective of quantum physics, everything is entangled. If you're well, I'm well. If you're not well, I can't be well either. We're not isolated. Everything that happens to us, including our very existence, is the result of countless causes and conditions coming together. So how do we make a great vow? Simply put, it's about developing a selfless intention to benefit others. If you want positive changes for yourself, first bring positive changes to the external world and all sentient beings. Our current situation is trapped by the mindset and pattern of the lower self. Only by elevating our heart to a higher dimension can we break free. Now is the time to make great vows and benefit others. Not only benefit others, but also eliminate the ego, discrimination, and accept everything. Stop creating oppositions. Be sure to shut down the mind's calculations. Stop weighing gains and losses. Let your consciousness and awareness guide you. Benefit more sentient beings. The bigger your heart, the greater the energy you receive. The smaller your heart, the quicker negative results appear. If you earnestly practice great vows, your heart will grow stronger, becoming purer and more joyful with higher energy. Your destiny will naturally become abundant and prosperous. So don't just think about taking care of only your family members or a few employees in your company. That's too small-minded. Make great vows. How big is big? As long as the object of your benefit is still on earth, it's not too big. Of course, you might say you can't make such a great vow now. It's normal if you can't. Great vows aren't that easy to make, because many people's past thinking never extended beyond their family. Now, asking you to make such a big vow might be hard to adapt to, so it's okay if you can't do it all at once. Make the vow multiple times, for example, before you only considered your family. Now, besides your family, you can consider several other families. Also, learn more about the suffering of sentient beings. Spend more time with people who have great vows. When your vows grow bigger and you sincerely benefit others, you'll gain more and more resources, and your bad karma can turn from negative to positive, becoming supportive. The premise is that you genuinely cultivate and act. If you only go through the motions, not only is it useless, but you'll also be ridiculed. So if a person doesn't make vows or accumulate virtue internally, how can the external manifest? Using today's physics concepts, a vow is a form of energy. Whether it can be realized or not, making the vow is important. Whatever you do, include your vow so you won't suffer loss. For example, when we're sick, make a vow. May all sentient beings never suffer this illness. If I recover, I will help all who suffer from the same disease. By making such a vow, you can instantly turn sickness into merit. Including great vows into your life makes recovery very fast. Besides praying for yourself, pray even more for all who suffer from illness. Pray for all suffering beings in hospitals. When we pray like this, our recovery is fastest. It's more effective than praying just for ourselves. If you feel inferior, make a vow that all who feel inferior no longer do so. If you're unsatisfied with your current situation or being bullied, make a vow. May my patience increase others' blessings. Anything can be transformed through making vows. For example, picking up cigarette butts thrown around by family members. As you pick them up and throw them into the trash, make a vow. May the merit and blessings from picking up these cigarette butts be dedicated to the health of all sentient beings and parents. You'll find that every cigarette butt is like gold. We have great power. We can transform things of different natures into the same nature and then flush them away. If used as fertilizer for plants, waste is transformed into nourishment. If you put waste under a flower, it transforms into a beautiful blossom and sweet apple. If we don't know how to transform, we'll suffer. So not all troubles and disasters are sins. Understanding transformation leads to positive changes. All our negatives can be transformed. Those who know how to transform aren't afraid of problems. We can all turn suffering into grace through making vows. Transform troubles into enlightenment. Well, thank you very much for patiently reading this. I hope it has touched and inspired you. See you next time.